Hey, welcome everybody to the 43rd episode of the Dodgeball Marketing Podcast. Really excited today to introduce a guest, Jeff Wraley. Jeff Wraley's with Groundwork, and they're in Indianapolis. And really, if I had to sum it up, I would say it's about handling leads better and doing a better job of managing one's leads so that one is not wasting time and struggling. And so excited to talk to Jeff today. We're going to kind of go through some questions, do our typical Q&A format. And so Jeff, first off, what is Groundwork? What's your mission? Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on. Groundwork is a virtual sales system for home improvement contractors. So we facilitate, we allow contractors, home improvement contractors of all different types, to get better information from their prospects, homeowners, in an easy, convenient way. So instead of the in-person sales appointment that many are used to, we've provided a way for contractors to get video walkthroughs of projects ahead of that sales appointment, so that they're not running around town chasing projects and opportunities that don't end up being a good fit for them. We put a big an X on tire kickers, and
That's
really
great.
help homeowners find a good way to interact with contractors as well. We're certainly not an Angie's List type of thing. We're more so providing contractors with a smoother way to manage their lead flow and to give basically their homeowners a way to get started with a project in a quick and easy way.
That's cool. Yeah, it feels like COVID sort of shifted a lot of things permanently. And I think a lot of companies now are saying, man, we've got trucks burning up the roads and we really don't need to be out there every time. It's sometimes just kind of getting a look and getting a general idea is a lot better and more profitable for us. So it sounds like, just tell me if I'm right on this, but it sounds like you're kind of positioned for where things are headed with a little bit more interactive use of smartphones and a little bit more FaceTiming, maybe that sort of thing. So yeah, is that sort of am I getting it right about where you all are positioned as a company?
Absolutely, yeah. So what we kind of two trends that we are drafting off of. One is definitely on the homeowner side of things. Homeowners get a package to their door with just about anything that they want in 48 hours. So the immediacy and just the general buying habits and buying behaviors of homeowners, consumers in general, by the way, including business owners of contracting businesses, it's a pretty immediate process. So when I started the company, I just looked at the way the traditional sales process had gone for contracting in the home improvement space, and that sales process was, hey, we'll be out there, next Friday, and or sometimes even 2-3 weeks out, and it just doesn't quite compute with the way that homeowners buy just about everything else. So we offer that alternative that not only provides convenience to the homeowner, but definitely provides convenience for the contractor. So that's one thing, just the way homeowners buy things has changed, and that informs a lot of what we do and how we've designed the product. But as you mentioned, COVID has made a lot of contractors really reevaluate how they're running their business and how technology can bring efficiency into their business. We got this going before COVID, but when that happened,
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of just wind in our sails, right? It's a lot easier to get some of these old school contracting outfits to say, oh wow, yeah, I could do it a little differently. And so there's a lot of fun realization that's happened in the process of kind of just navigating the last 12-18 months.
Yeah, that's tremendous. It feels like, and this takes us to our next question, and I'm kind of looking at my notes here. What do companies forget when it comes to customer experience? It feels like you're focused on not just your customer's experience, but their customer's experience. So it seems like you're thinking a lot about the customer and the value, the sort of chain of value creation and how it's going to affect these different audiences. But what are some of the things that have sort of been highlighted? One of them right there is just that immediacy, but also just the don't make me wait. Just come tell me some information. But where does Groundwork and sort of customer service intersect?
Yeah, I think there's there's a book called They Ask You Answer, written by Marcus Sheridan.
Hmm.
And it's really just a play on really what it says. They ask you answer. What does your end customer want?
Hmm.
And our approach has been to provide contractors with a way to provide some answers and to provide that collaboration much quicker than the previous process. So that's one interesting aspect we've run up against and kind of realized as we've gone through this is, if you can be the answer point, the guide, the Sherpa on the journey
Hmm.
for your end customer, then you're in a really, really good spot. And a lot of times that doesn't take a lot of time to just provide some information and start to be that guide. You can do it with digital content. You can do it with a tool like we have to provide a little more granular feedback. But when you get that approach to helping to become the guide, that can be
Hmm.
really powerful. The other thing that I'll mention here is just consistency in the experience.
Mm.
We have seen that contractors don't have a process in their sales funnel. So it's willy-nilly. You're not telling somebody what's coming next.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
when you create those gaps in the process, and there's communication gaps, that creates a trust gap. And you're really fighting uphill once you get to that point. So those are a couple things that, from a
Yeah.
customer experience perspective, we see a lot of that with digital products and in that world from like an Apple Tesla perspective.
Hmm.
But service businesses are just the same.
Yeah.
The buyers are the same, and I think those experiences, matching those digital experiences and the kind of consumer brand experiences with the service side of the business and that business model, is just making a whole lot more sense.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. The sales process starts, or the customer service experience starts before the deal is closed. So before someone actually becomes a customer, they're already building an impression of sort of how, and they may not have a better option on who they're choosing as a service provider. So they're sort of chalking it up to, oh, this is not looking good, or, oh, I'm nervous about this. And all of that insecurity from the sales process being rough bleeds into, and is probably accurately assumed to also be the case during the service delivery. So yeah, tightening up the sales process is good discipline across the board for creating a better experience and maintaining trust before someone becomes a customer. That's really good. Next up, how have you seen digital marketing come together with in-person service? So that's kind of interesting. And you all are very digitally oriented. So how have the worlds of digital and customer service, how have those intersected for you all?
Yeah, so in what we have seen contractors do very well, and really some of the things we've worked into our product is uh, building authenticity in your content, in the digital collaboration side. We work a lot from the digital process of getting a lead in the door, qualified, and start that collaboration process. If you do that well in an authentic way, um, then you are very well positioned to close that deal at a higher rate in the in-person side of things. So we preach that if you do your work on the digital side, your job on the in-person side is a whole lot easier.
Hmm.
So that can go for a lot of different types of businesses, but that's definitely something we see. I think there's ways that I've seen that done well is personalized messaging. I mean, some of it can be automated, but we like to see things that aren't necessarily automated, or at least
Hmm.
are a good effort at putting a very simply putting a picture in an email signature. Like, that's a very, very simple thing to do,
Yeah.
but it puts your face, it provides some personality to the experience, so that when that digital experience turns into in-person experience, there's continuity there.
That's great. Yeah, we've been getting good results with a website where we just have a modal that pops up that just says, "Hey, talk to Jay. Jay's your guy, and he's ready to talk. And here's the number." And so it's interesting the conversations that client of ours has received. Someone will call in and say, "Yeah, I just thought, man, Jay just seems like a real guy, and I can just talk to him. It's not some wall of customer service that I have to get through to get to somebody who really knows something. But Jay is very knowledgeable and knows their industry inside and out, and so he can speak to anything they want to talk about and immediately be that Yoda, that trusted advisor on that customer's own hero's journey right off the bat. So that's a continuity for them from their digital all the way over to the in-person and to the service delivery that we've seen work out exactly like you just described. Yeah, so here's a kind of crazy question, but what's been one of your biggest surprises from digital marketing or even just kind of working in the digital space overall?
Yeah, so an interesting story from just yesterday. We had a prospect reach out to us, and one of my guys was talking to him, and he said, I search YouTube, and you all don't have anything on YouTube yet. I was like, you know what? We don't have anything on YouTube yet. We need to fix it. So I mean, we're a young company, certainly not masters in all channels quite yet, but I think my experience from that is people search for it. There's so much of the buying process that happens before that first contact, right?
Yeah.
The Google machine is a very powerful thing, right? And yes, that includes YouTube, that includes all social channels, that includes, I mean, there's a whole universe, and you can't necessarily play well in all of them, but if you figure out how your buyers are looking for you, you need to be there because they are looking for you, and you need to figure out the answer to that question. How are people searching for you? And you need to be there. So even for us as a software company, and you might say, oh, you sell services to contractors, and those guys are old crusty, whatever else, and that's not the case. It's a big misnomer about the trades industry is just the old school nature. I mean, there's a stat out there that all baby boomers will be the age 60 by 2025. So the picture of the crusty old school contractor is changing incredibly fast. So for us and for many other small businesses, that we sell to, and that just other general service local business, people are searching for you, and the more you can show up and provide that just one more touch of trust, the better.
That's good. Yeah, we a lot of our clients are younger than boomers, but what we've been surprised by is the adoption of technologies. And so we do a lot of work in the healthcare industry, and something that I'll tell our healthcare clients when we start with them is, listen, we work a lot with commercial painters, residential painters, landscapers, roofers, and these people are better at marketing than you. And that's always shocking to them. And I've had times when that was like, they kind of push back from the table a little bit. But what I've learned is the ones who respond and say, really, tell me more about that. They're humble, and they're able to learn. And so I'm able to tell them, yeah, these contractors have a very live or die relationship with their marketing. And so they're very aware and very in tune and frankly, working in a little bit more of a direct way with both the analytics, the opportunities, everything about digital marketing or just the digital space in general. They're very in tune with it in a way that people who are maybe a little bit more educated or have MBAs, they tend to overthink some things and not have really a visceral connection with what's happening that would sharpen their wits and make them more aware and appreciative of detail. I found the trades folks to be the ones to follow in that way.
Very much. And I have been, one of the other things that has surprised me about the trades folks in general, many more of them than anybody realizes have a digital marketer, if not a full-time videographer, photographer on staff.
That's amazing.
There are many that do.
Yeah.
And they are investing. And if not, they have a third party that's doing it for them, and they are on it. There's a lot of contractors that are very focused on that world because they have started to realize that if I'm not doing that, I don't get the customers I don't get the lead flow. And if I do get the lead flow, it's not the kind of lead flow that I want.
Right.
So there's some just qualifications just on marketing stuff that that whole muscle for marketing in the trades is stronger than many people realize.
Yeah.
That plays to a lot of different trends in the market. I think there's going to be a big shift to reliance on third party uh, resources for lead gen and like kind of outsource marketing from like
Hmm.
Angie's List and some of those marketplaces. I think a lot of that shifting back to these business owners who are figuring it out. They're saying, "Hey, I
Yeah.
can do this," whether it's help of a third party marketing agency type of deal, or whether they in-house some of it.
Hmm.
There's some easy ways to get started there
Hmm.
that I'm seeing a lot of contractors start to pay attention to.
Yeah, yeah. It's surprising to me how you do think it's like no a truck and there's a ladder and they pull up and all this. It's like no, this is a marketing engine. You're watching
Yeah,
a marketing show. The service delivery is just them cashing in on what they've built,
yeah.
but and doing the service delivery. But they really do. Yeah, and then let's switch to this. So, last question for the day. We'll wrap up with this. What marketing tools do you like or recommend, or just broadly, what are some things you've seen lately that you want to share with folks out there who are interested in marketing?
Yeah, so I think that I'll throw in a little bit of, I don't know if this is quite an answer to your question, but hopefully we can roll with it here. I think a killer copywriter, or
Okay.
at least the tool of taking some time to, if you have the skills to write good copy yourself, or inform good copy for your marketing friends or marketing department. Like that is a tool and tool belt that many people don't have. But the efficiency of words, if you can get your value prop, if you can get your customer thinking the right thing with the header one of your website or with a quippy social post, like that is a tool that serves any type of business well, is to just focus on uh, not paragraphs but short sentences that really land with your customers.
That's great.
I think it's overlooked. The other thing I'll say is that anything that you can do to um, provide convenience to your end customer and make them uh, take action and get engaged in their own buying process, which is a lot what we do, uh, that is usually a win. If they're taking
Mm,
steps forward and they're associating that progress with your company, it's a good thing. Just like you mentioned Jay on the website. I'm not a big fan of I've seen websites with the stock image with a guy with a headset on, and it's just like that's not a real that's not
yeah.
a real person. Like,
Yeah.
as long as it's authentic and really lands, it feels good to the customer.
Yeah.
um, I think those things can be really effective to bring somebody along the buying journey, help them make feel like they got some, help them make them feel like they got something done,
Yeah.
and that they're moving forward, and that they're a part of it.
That's right. Yeah, that's good. I often tell people that the biggest, most important thing about an incoming lead, either phone or form, is as soon as they talk to a human and they feel like someone's in that role of this is my person. I'm dealing with a person now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not on the internet searching for opportunities, but I'm interacting with a human and I'm building a relationship. Suddenly they don't want three or four of those. They just want to stick with that one and let it go all the way through or not. But it gets them out of that hunting mode across the landscape. And so being
Absolutely.
authentic and personal kind of makes that connection and gets that connection started before the contact's even made.
Yeah, and one more thing to add in there is video. We're a video heavy platform. Um, and even just taking a selfie style video, like let's say
Hmm.
you've got just the basic of basic form fill on your website, whatever type of business, how difficult is it to take a video of you as the business owner, just selfie style, say, hey, thanks for filling this out. Here's what's going to happen next. Appreciate you showing some interest in what we do, and we look forward to the potential to helping you.
Yeah, that's
And just put
tremendous.
that on the success page.
Yeah.
Why not? That is the beginning of what you said of like, hey, I'm dealing with a real person. And even if even if that's not who gives a call back, whatever, it's such a unique touch, and it's so flippin' easy to do, and it really works with probably any type of business out there, at least on the small business service side of things.
Yeah, that's tremendous. Yeah, we're big fans of video, so I think that's a great recommendation. I appreciate that, Jeff. This has been awesome. How can people find you? Hello Groundwork. Is it hellogroundwork.com?
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Hellogroundwork.com, and all the social stuff is Hello Groundwork. So yeah, give us a follow, and all of our contact stuff's on the site. If you go to the site, you can actually do a self-guided demo. It's kind of practicing what we preach a little bit. You can get started, see what it looks like for yourself, and it's interesting. Give us a shout, and yeah, happy to chat marketing, sales with anybody who'd like.
Tremendous. And yeah, if we hear of anybody or anybody messages us, we'll get that handed off to you as well. And Jeff, thank you. Have a great Friday and a good weekend, and stay safe. And we're really glad we got to spend time with you today. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
Excellent.